as a black non-Arab Muslim, how do you deal with racism that is propagated towards you from, for example, an Arab girl's family? If you seek her as a potential wife, I
Mm.
want to know practically in terms of the real world, in a Western society, how you would deal with that problem, and also from an Islamic perspective, what are the necessary routes I can take? Like, I know that you can obviously seek um, Islamic counsel through a sheikh and guidance in that sense, but it's very pushed under the carpet for whatever reason. And I don't want to blanket all Arabs and specifically Lebanese people, but it is something that it is there, but it seems to not get addressed and always thrown under the rug. But yeah, I just want to
Yeah,
have get your take on that.
yeah. Arabs are low key racist, bro. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. When I was in Saudi Arabia, when I was living in Saudi, do you know how they would call if they saw a black person in the queue? You know how they would address him? They would say, "Hey, Abdi, yeah,
Yeah.
Abdi." You know what Abdi means?
Yes. Yes.
Abdi means slave. Yusuf can attest to this, I'm sure.
Mm,
Yusuf,
mm,
shout out to you, bro. Be like, yo, Abdi. And it doesn't even like, they don't even consider it to be racist. But it is. It's like, hey, my slave,
mm.
referring to, slavery. So I don't know, to be honest with you, bro. It's one of those things. I used to underestimate how severe racism is still in the world today, particularly in the Western world. Even I used to underestimate it because I'm not black, so I'm not experiencing that. But when I started speaking to more of my black friends, my black brothers, the Muslim brothers, I was like, you know what? This is actually still a legitimate issue, and I know this is particularly amongst the Arabs because like we say in Arabic, عندهم النيف, like they got a little bit of a superiority complex. Speaking broadly, of course. Um, so I don't know, Akhi. Wallahi, I don't know. But what I can tell you from a psychological perspective is this: is that if you show to them that their inferior opinion of you has affected you, it will literally become like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay,
Nah, nah.
if you show that it affects you, then they will just continue to treat you in this way. But
Mhm.
if you don't give them that response, that reaction that they're looking for, you will place a seed of doubt in their mind. And they will start to wonder, why is this guy not reacting in the same way that every other black guy that we have shown or made racist remarks towards? Why is he not behaving? You just place that seed of doubt in their mind. So you have to conduct yourself in a royal fashion, sort of like peasant. Like, how am I going to acknowledge the remark of a peasant like you? That's how you have to conduct yourself. And I think this
Akhi,
is it.
unfortunately, it's not just remarks. Subhanallah, like maybe there's other black men across the West, across many other countries that have been through a similar thing. It's I've gone through death threats, like very like it's very real death threats, but at the same time, Subhanallah.
Death threat. Okay, give me more context. I want more
Okay,
context.
essentially, I'll give you a rundown. I go to ask for Arab girl's hand,
Mm-hmm.
and a father who is basically not even in the girl's life anymore feels as though he has some sort of imperative to be there again, and maybe it's a man thing. Maybe he feels like being less of a man by giving his daughter to a non-Arab, for whatever reason. But essentially, it extended to the point of death threats. But I'm kind of associating what you just said now with what my father said because I was ready to completely stop it and not pursue it.
Mm.
He said that in a sense you're committing shirk because you're allowing this human to make something haram. Sorry, make something that is halal. Allah has made halal for you into something haram. Why would
Mm.
you like? Do you know what I mean? Do you understand the direction of
That's
where
a
I'm
bit of a
taking it?
stretch. That's a stretch.
Not
No, that's
not shirk, not exactly shirk, but it's why you're letting another creation stop you from gaining access to something that you have every right to as a Muslim, and also something
mm.
that she does. If you're not giving a fair assessment of character and faith, um, I mean, pretty much everything else is off the table. Those are really the
Does the sister want to marry you?
yes, yes,
Okay.
and we need to basically seek Islamic counsel. It's just a very difficult situation, and basically, I'm asking: is something like that worth going pursuing? Is that is
Okay.
you know yeah. Yeah, it's a very hard situation, but honestly, I just wanted your perspective on it because yeah, you seem like you have your head screwed on. So
I mean, look, first and foremostly, of course, you're going to want to take this to like a senior student of knowledge, or one of the mashayikh that are in Australia, or even online for that matter. Okay, that's the first thing that I will say. But I will say to you this, bro. If the father and the only one who will be able to rule this or judge this is a sheikh or a student of knowledge, but if the father genuinely doesn't have any legitimate reason for you not to marry his daughter, there is always the ability or the potential to override him. Okay, and a senior student of knowledge or a sheikh, he will look at the situation, and if he believes that the father is being unreasonable, then he can be overridden as hawali, and somebody can be put as a wali in his place. Okay, so I know that this is possible in the Sharia. However, I've said this before in my streams in the past. Just because you can do something doesn't necessarily mean you should do it. Okay. And this is very important now, because you have to look at the ramifications or the long term consequences of what could come about from this action. So I'll give you an example. If in this example here you do marry the sister, let's say that you do, the sheikh decides her dad has no right saying what he says, and therefore his opinion doesn't matter, and he marries you both regardless. What will most probably happen is dad will cut his daughter off for an indefinite period of time, God knows how long. Okay, dad will cut her off, and now you are going to be left with picking up the pieces of this, your wife's or your new wife's broken heart, because she's lost her dad. It's like someone dying, you know. And now that additional burden and emotional turmoil that she is going through, it's going to be shoved down your throat or placed on your back, and you will be the one who has to deal with that. And that can place a lot of unnecessary strain on a relationship. This is why I'm not a fan of these types of situations, overriding the father, even if you have the right to. It's context specific, and that's why you will have to speak to a sheikh. But you have to understand that you might end up signing yourself up for something that you just don't know what the magnitude of that thing is right now. It could be really burdensome on you. How old are you, Abdullah?
alhamdulillah, I'm 23.
So you're young, bro. I mean, have you been married before?
No, I haven't, unfortunately. But
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure, bro. That's a lot of pressure
it
for a young
is,
man
it is,
who's
it
not
is.
been married
I
before.
feel like I just have to make istikhara and seek Islamic counsel.
You
That's
make
all I can do.
istikhara after you've made istikhara is after you've made your decision, not before. Yeah, this is a misconception with istikhara. You make your decision first, so you seek your counsel, and then you come to a
Mm,
decision. And once you're firm upon your decision, then you make istikhara.
yeah,
So yeah, bro, you want to speak to someone, not just a student of knowledge, but someone who he has it's not just about understanding the knowledge itself, but it's practical application. Because someone could just turn around and say to you, yeah, you have the right to marry her. Bismillah, tafaddal.
exactly. Yeah. Because I want
You
someone
see?
that can understand the social implications of this as well. The
Exactly.
other implications. Yeah.
Exactly.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, no, I've got my answer. All I need, inshallah. I'll take that
How long have you
advice on
known her
board.
for? How long have you known the sister for?
Uh, Over a year. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
brilliant.
why it's yeah, that's why it's I guess pressing because we're humans at the end of the day.
So if you like that clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.